Good morning, 10 o'clock. We typically every day do our stream here from 10 to 10:15, giving you a look at the weather. Luckily, things are very quiet out there this morning. It looks like they'll be fairly quiet through the afternoon. We do have about a 30% coverage, maybe a few showers with thunderstorms today. Nothing like we saw yesterday. Yesterday, kind of the ingredients kind of came together in the right mix and gave us all that rain, anywhere from about 1 to 4 inches of rain across the Beaumont area yesterday. A ton of rainfall out there. Had some flooded roadways and things like that. We're drying out now. It's been dry all morning and it looks like it's going to be dry through most of the day. There's going to be a lot of folks who don't see any rain today. There might be a few that catch a few showers. That's about it. Let's take a look at our weather for today. The rest of the day forecast, we'll go about 30% through the afternoon and maybe a few showers here and there. Temperature's going to be up close to 90 degrees for later on this afternoon. As we head towards the evening hours, things should calm down. Temperatures still holding on to the middle 80s, and then by 10 o'clock, we're expecting temperatures back down into the upper 70s. So not looking too bad today, a lot better than yesterday. Quick look at our allergy report. That's also not looking too bad. Weed low, medium on mold, and then 0 for grass and trees. So a little bit better there than what we've been seeing as far as the allergy report. Still, I'd like to get that mold level down, and gosh, if we can get them all at 0, that would be wonderful, but I don't think I've ever seen an allergy report with everything was at 0. We have a phone number that you can text us at if you have a question as far as what the weather's going to be doing the rest of this week into this weekend. We'll try to show you that here in just a second, and you can text that really at any time. We don't even have to be on the stream for you to text us, and we check the phone periodically. And if we see your question on there, we'll go ahead and try to answer it. If you have like an event planned for a weekend or maybe for one evening or something, a soccer practice or something like that, and you want to know what the weather's going to be like, you can text us at the number and we'll get that message and we'll send back a response. Can't call the phone, but you definitely can text it and send in weather questions as far as your text. And we'll see if we can pull that number up for you here in a little bit. Okay, let's take a look at the number right now. They're telling me they do have it. So there it is, 409-749-9302. That's 749-9302. If you have a question, you can text your question to that number. We have a dedicated weather line, and we'll look at that periodically. Like I said, I'll check it here before the end of this stream, and we'll see if we have any questions. But we'll look at it periodically if you have any questions, and we can answer those. Even if we're not on a stream, we can text you back. So, like I said, if you got a question, write that down, and if you have a question, you can always text us there at that number. All right, temperatures right now starting to warm up. Matter of fact, showing 92 right now in the orange area. Not quite that warm in Port Arthur at about 85. I think all the rains we had yesterday did something to the thermometer out there at the municipal airport west of Beaumont, because we haven't gotten a report from there all morning long. So I think something happened to the instrumentation out there with all the heavy rain yesterday. Hopefully they'll get that fixed back up and running. About 80 degrees in Silsbee right now, 81 in Woodville, 82 in Jasper, and showing 79 right now in Kirbyville. I don't know if that number is updated here. Maybe it hasn't quite updated yet, but you're pretty close to about 80 degrees there in Kirbyville as we head towards about 10 o'clock this morning. Outside looks a lot better than what we were seeing yesterday. Mid-County Plumbing bringing you this Roofing 911 camera from right here at the 12 News studio. And we're looking at just partly cloudy skies. Like I said, you can see the roadways are dry. Down there at the bottom of your screen, that little underpass there going over I-10 was flooded out yesterday with all the heavy rainfall right outside our studio here. Matter of fact, we had one vehicle which was stalled out there in the rain. The driver had to be assisted out of there. That's dried up now. And if you're trying to get to Beaumont, don't worry, the roads are fine around the Beaumont area. I've had a couple people text this morning and say, are the roadways still flooded out in Beaumont? You know, the roads are fine here in Beaumont. Of course, there's a few puddles left over here and there, but as far as trying to get around, the roads are completely passable for this morning. So don't worry about coming through Beaumont if you're trying to get to Beaumont. Maybe have a doctor's appointment or something here. Our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network over towards Lake Charles. We're looking at partly cloudy skies over there as well as we look towards the port of Lake Charles. And then farther off in the view there, you can see the city of Lake Charles on the other side of the lake. Here is Horseman's Western Store in orange, also partly cloudy skies, maybe a few more clouds there. on our Roofing 911 live Skycam network. Currently showing temperatures in the upper 80s there, 87. So not quite the 91 we saw officially from Orange, and humidity about 77%. Looking at a wind out of the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour in the Orange area. And it looks like traffic's going smoothly through Orange. I went over to Lake Charles earlier this week and it wasn't going so smoothly through Orange. We were stopping and going, so it looks pretty good there on this Tuesday morning, so not looking too bad. I went over there Sunday for Father's Day to see my son, but yeah, the traffic wasn't the best. And then here's a look over towards Port Arthur on our Roofing 911 live Skycam network. This camera brought you my market basket once again. Just some partly cloudy skies as we look towards the intercoastal there. Things looking pretty quiet out there for this morning. Let's take a look at radar, and here's something nice to see after yesterday's rains. There's nothing going on, very quiet. Now there are a few showers well off towards our east, over just south of Lafayette. Looks like some showers and thunderstorms over there. But the bulk of the moisture that we had overhead yesterday, that deep tropical moisture, it kind of pushed off towards the east, and so a little bit drier atmosphere out there for today. That's why we decreased our rain chances to 30%. So we're not expecting much, but during the heat of the afternoon, we could see a few showers. So we have to keep a rain chance in there, but it won't be much for today thanks to this moisture. And you can see it here. Let me get out of the way here a little bit. I'll switch over to this side. And you can see where the clouds are, kind of that deep tropical moisture, along with a big trough of low pressure. It's pushing off towards the east. And behind it, a little bit drier air, but still enough moisture in there to, like I said, create a couple of showers here and there. Most of Texas actually on the quiet side for this morning. Not much going on at all. Maybe a couple of showers up towards the Panhandle a little bit there, just to the east of Lubbock. But a lot of the state seeing a lot of sunshine out there. Have a few showers maybe out in the Gulf of Mexico, but nothing much going on. We'll expand that out to the rest of the country. And you can see some thunderstorms rumbling through Kansas for this morning. Looks like one batch here and then another batch coming in behind that up into parts of Nebraska. Looks like it's going to be diving down into Kansas as well. And then some scattered showers across parts of Mississippi, Alabama this morning. And maybe a few showers towards the East Coast, but not much. Looks like the East Coast is pretty dry for this morning. And then Rocky Mountain states all the way out to the West Coast is dry this morning. You don't see anything going on. Another day where they're looking at a lot of sunshine and really no problems weather-wise as far as any active weather. They could use a little bit of rain out there, especially going into the summer season, but right now it looks like it's going to be pretty dry for them. All right, our futurecast showing things pretty quiet through about 1 o'clock, and then as we get into the heat of the day, 2, 3 o'clock, could see a couple of showers here and there. Like I said, we'll go about a 30% coverage of some scattered showers through the afternoon with highs getting close to 90. Going into the evening, 6 o'clock, things start to quiet down just a little bit. We'll see numbers push back into the 80s. By 10 o'clock, I still think we'll be hanging around 80 degrees with just partly cloudy skies. We'll go with partly cloudy skies through the overnight. Really no big problems there as we head into tomorrow morning. And then as we get into your Wednesday, could start to see once again some showers out there. Maybe about a 30% coverage again for tomorrow. I think Futurecast overdoes it a little bit as far as some of their showers in the afternoon, but about a 30% chance it looks like tomorrow as well, with temperatures once again near about 90 degrees. Out in the tropics, anything going on we need to watch? Not really. There's a few areas of some convection or showers and thunderstorms in the southern Caribbean, but that's about it. Not much going on out in the Atlantic. Very quiet out there. Gulf of Mexico is pretty quiet as well. So really not much to talk about. No problems out there. Nothing the Hurricane Center is watching for the next 7 to 10 days. So I think we're good out there into the Atlantic for a while. And typically, as we always mention, the peak of hurricane season is usually late August, early September. That's when we run into a lot of activity. Our coastal marine forecast for today, not too bad. South winds at about 10 to 15 knots, seas from around 2 to 3 feet, water temperature at 84. And you see currently we're seeing south winds at about 13 along Texas Point with some gusts to around 16, so not too bad there. We had one high tide just a little bit ago at 9:36, so next one's at 8:16 for tonight. Could see a few showers maybe late today, light chop on the inland lakes and bays, and our sunset tonight is about 8:19. So forecast for today, partly cloudy. We'll go 20% coverage for possibly up in the lakes and around 30% for inland southeast Texas and here in the Triangle. Inland southeast Texas we consider Hardin County and then southern Jasper, Newton County, and then the Triangle of course is Orange and Jefferson counties. Temperatures today, upper 80s, right around 90, maybe a little bit hotter the farther you get away from the coast. So we're talking about 92 maybe towards Burkeville, 91, 92 up towards Jasper and Newton. Partly cloudy for tonight, no rain expected. We'll see a little bit of a south wind between say 5 and 10 miles per hour overnight, and temperatures anywhere from some middle 70s here around the triangle to some middle to maybe a few lower 70s up towards the lakes area. Burkeville about 73, 74 through say Jasper, Newton, and then maybe 75 down towards Spurger, 75 in Buna. All right, our 7-day forecast. Rain chances bounce around a little bit, but nothing like we have been seeing. We're not looking at that 70-80% coverage of rain and thunderstorms like we saw all last week, it seems like, or 60% coverage. For today and tomorrow, we'll go 30% for both of those days, today, tomorrow, with temperatures near 90, and then maybe a little higher on Thursday. A weak weather system kind of skirts by to our north, so we'll go about 40% on Thursday. And then for Friday and Saturday, rain chances drop even a little bit more. We'll go 20% as we head towards your first part of your weekend. A little bit better chance maybe Sunday into Monday, as we'll see another little weak weather system kind of slide through the area. Won't be a whole lot there as well. Maybe Monday, a couple of scattered showers here and there, but once again, we're not talking about a big washout like we saw yesterday where we deal with some flooding problems. We're talking about scattered rain from time to time as we go through, looks like Sunday into Monday. Hold on one second, I'll switch the view back to Skycam for a minute or two as you take a look at our 7-day forecast and just check out what's going on. There we go. Once again from our 12 News studio, we're looking at just partly cloudy skies. Clouds are starting to build a little bit, so like I said, we're not going to completely rule out rain today. There will be possibly a few showers, and those could be a little bit of a heavy downpour or even a little bit of a thunderstorm. Those could be popping up later on this afternoon, but I wouldn't expect too much out there. At least the roadways are dry, and we're starting to dry out a little bit already. And like I said, even towards Lake Charles, you can see the clouds building a little bit. And by the afternoon, the heat of the day, that's where we could probably see some activity as far as maybe a few showers or thunderstorms. And they could be some heavy downpours, don't get me wrong. We could be seeing some lightning and thunder with that, but nothing severe or anything like that. Just some scattered showers from time to time, it looks like out there. As we take a look at radar right now, once again, pretty quiet. We don't have anything going. This is a loop of the last couple of hours, and most of the activity has been well off towards our east. That's where like I said, the deeper moisture is. Once again, you can see that very clearly here over parts of Louisiana back into Mississippi. Why we don't see too much. There are some of those showers and thunderstorms diving in from Oklahoma, but it looks like those are going to be sliding into places in Arkansas. Maybe if this holds together, maybe over towards Fort Smith. So travel plans to Houston, Lake Charles today. You might run into a shower, something like that, but overall, I'm not looking at anything going on as far as what we saw yesterday. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're just tuning in, roads are fine here in Beaumont. I'm sure you've heard about some of the flooding problems we had yesterday, and maybe have a doctor's appointment this afternoon or something like that. Trying to get into Beaumont here is no problem. Everything's dried out. We had that quick hit of some rain, and that brought in some localized flooding for a short time, but things are clearing out now. Officially out at the airport, Jack Brooks Regional Airport, we had not quite 2 inches yesterday, but across the area generally we were looking at about 1 to 4 inches, and right around actually Beaumont proper here, we had some places picking up about 4 inches of rainfall. So a lot of rain in a short amount of time.